Hello, our group project is RatTrace, the world's premier querying system on rodent activity in the New York City cuisine sphere. The datasets that we chose are New York City's health inspections for restaurants and New York City's rodent inspections. The health inspection dataset contains the business name, street number, street name, borough, cuisine description, inspection date, violation description, grade, and health penalty score of a health inspection. The rodent inspection dataset contains the street number, street name, borough, inspection date, and the result of the inspection of a rodent inspection. We believe that we would be able to create a metric that would find how likely a restaurant is susceptible to rodent infestation by taking into account the results of rodent inspections in the surrounding area of a restaurant. A function that we implemented was being able to query to find a particular restaurant location's rodent score. It gathers information from the surrounding rodent inspections that have occurred in the same borough and block as the restaurant and only considers the negative incidents that are specified within a given date range. It applies a weight to each incident within the past year, with the more recent incidents being weighed more. Then each weighted incident subtracts from the restaurant's base rodent score of 100. The lower the resulting score, the more likely a restaurant is susceptible to rodent infestation. So, to showcase that query, we first go and start our program and enter 1 to access restaurant queries, and we choose a restaurant to query upon. So we're going to do McDonald's, and we choose we enter 3 so that we can get the rodent score of McDonald's, and we are given the ability to choose from any McDonald's. So, for example, we're going to choose the 176, which is this McDonald's, the one on Broadway, 3410. And we enter. We are allowed to give a date range. And if we do, we have to enter in this kind of format. So let's just do it from the beginning when the records start. 07 to now, 2020, 05, 07, and we see that McDonald's has a score of 89.16 repeating, which means that there have been some rodent cases that have occurred occurred around this McDonald's. Some of them, there might have been a lot, but they weren't recent, or there just might have been a couple, but they weren't but they were recent, but there's just only been a couple. So that's one functionality we implemented. Another functionality that we added was that we allowed the user to find out what the top 20 worst restaurants are in NYC based on their rodent scores. So restaurants with a health inspection grade of C or worse are found, and we apply a rodent score to each, and then we return the top 20 worst. So the restaurants had the least rodent score. So to access that, we select NYC by entering 3, and we select query 1. So we enter 1 for the top 20 dirtiest restaurants in NYC, and that's going to run for about 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll get back to you when that comes back. All right, and now we're back, and now we can see, if we open this up, we have on the left our restaurant name, on the right our rodent score, and we can see that Lennox Fast Food was the worst with negative 132.83 rodent scores. So that means there was a lot of rodent-related incidents that occurred around it, which means it is probably highly likely to be susceptible to rodent infestation. So that's one of our functionalities. Now, another functionality that we added was allowing you to query based on cuisine of a restaurant within a borough. So, for example, let's pick 2 for borough. Let's pick the Bronx, for example, and let's do 4 to get all the given cuisine type. Let's do American. And here we can see there's a lot of American type restaurants. And on the left, we have the restaurant name. And then on the right, we have the location. And now we're also able to search by individual restaurant, find all instances or locations of a restaurant within a borough. So for that, pick borough. Let's go to Brooklyn, and let's do 3, and let's do Dunkin', as we saw up there. So we can see on the left, we have Duncan, and on the right, we have the location. So we're able to get all instances of Duncan within the database.